Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Handsome Trader channel. I am genuinely so glad you're here with us today.
It's great to be here.
Whether you're, tuning in on your morning commute, or maybe you're at the gym, or maybe you're sitting right there in front of your trading station, staring at charts that just went completely the other way. Welcome.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there, staring at that chart.
We really, really have. No, look, I have to be real with you right from the jump today.
Okay.
Usually when people come to a trading channel, especially here on YouTube, they're looking for something very specific. They're on a hunt.
Mm-hmm. The hunt for the secret.
The secret. Exactly. They want to know, hey, what's the best moving average setting? Or what indicator tells me exactly when to buy so I never lose again?
Or the big one, the Holy Grail strategy.
The Holy Grail. The one that prints money while I sleep.
Yeah.
But today we're probably going to disappoint those people.
We are.
We are not doing that. We're not going to talk about RSI or MACD or Bollinger Band.
No chart patterns.
No chart patterns, no hammers, no shooting stars. Because, frankly, that's not what makes a trader profitable.
It really isn't.
Today, we're going to talk about something much, much harder. We're going to talk about the brutal psychological journey that every single profitable trader, every single one, has to survive.
And survive is absolutely the right word. It's a war. It's a psychological war you're fighting, mostly with yourself.
It is a war. And before we really dive into the trenches, I have a small favor to ask of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you find value in what we're doing here, if you want to support this kind of honest, real talk about trading, no rented Lambos, no fake promises, please just take a second to like this content, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. I'm asking this with all my heart because it really does help us reach more people who are out there struggling in silence.
It does. That one click really helps get the message out.
It means the world, so thank you. Now, let me introduce my guest today. Sitting here with me is Robert.
Hello, everyone.
Now, Robert is a veteran trader. And when I say veteran, I don't mean he's been at it for 6 months and, got lucky on some crypto coin.
Oh, no.
He has been in the trenches for years. He has seen it all, made every mistake in the book, and lived to tell the tale. He really specializes in the deep psychology of trading. Robert, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that welcome. My goal for our conversation today is, it's pretty simple, actually.
Okay.
I just want to bring some peace of mind, some clarity to the traders out there who feel totally lost. Because I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I know it very, very well.
Oh, it's a terrible feeling. It feels like you're the only one failing while you see everyone else on social media getting rich.
Precisely. So I want to share what I've learned, not from some textbook, but, from the scars on my own account.
I love that. Scars on the account. We've all got those. So, Robert, we were talking before we started rolling about this concept you have. You believe there are 3 distinct stages of a trader's evolution.
That's right, 3 stages.
And you were really clear to me, these are not stages of, learning software or memorizing chart patterns.
No, not at all. These aren't technical stages. You could be a technical wizard, a total genius with charts, and still be stuck in stage 1.
Wow!
These are stages of character destruction and rebirth.
Character destruction. That sounds intense. Why destruction?
It has to be destruction.
Yeah.
You see, the person you are when you start trading, the normal you that functions in society, that person cannot be the person who becomes a profitable trader.
So that person has to go away.
Metaphorically speaking, that person has to die.
Mm.
It's a bit dramatic, I know, but it's true. The habits and beliefs that make you successful out there in the real world are the very things that will destroy you in the market.
That is a fascinating way to put it.
And it's why most people fail. Most people get wiped out in stage 1. The few who survive that, they often just burn out in stage 2. And only a tiny, tiny fraction ever reach stage 3.
And by the time they get there,
they're completely different human beings.
Honestly, that sounds a little scary. It's like some kind of, initiation, right?
It should be a little scary. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it right.
Sure.
But look, my mission today isn't to scare you away. It's to prepare you. It's to give you a map. If you know what's coming, you can survive the war. But if you don't have this map, you're just walking into a minefield, completely blindfolded.
Okay, let's do it. Let's walk through the journey. Let's start at the beginning. Stage 1. You call this the slaughter of certainty.
Yes, the slaughter of certainty.
That is a heavy title. Talk to me about the setup. Who is this person walking into stage 1? What do they look like?
Well, think about the typical person who decides to get into trading. Who are they?
I'm guessing they're not slackers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're usually smart people. They're successful in other areas of their life. They're doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, lawyers, people who have achieved things.
Right. They're used to winning. They're the people who got straight A's in school. They follow the rules and they get the prize.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And they have a formula for winning that has worked for them their entire lives.
Yeah.
And that formula is simple. Effort equals results.
That makes sense. That's how the world works, isn't it?
That's how the normal world works. I mean, think about it. If I study hard in medical school, I memorize the anatomy, I pass the tests, I become a doctor.
Right.
If I work late hours at my business, I meet more clients, I refine my product, I make more money. If I follow the rules and I work hard, I succeed. The world is, for the most part, logical. It's linear.
If you build a bridge correctly, using the right math and the right materials, the bridge stands up. It doesn't just randomly fall down because the wind was in a bad mood that day.
Exactly. So this high achiever, this engineer or doctor, comes to the market with that exact same assumption. They think, okay, trading is just another subject I need to master.
I'll just outwork everyone else.
I'll study hard, read all the books, backtest all the data, and analyze the charts perfectly, and then I will win.
That seems so logical, though. I mean, why is that a trap? Shouldn't that kind of hard work pay off?
Because the market does not care about your effort. It does not care about how many hours you put in. The market is not a fair environment in the human sense of the word.
So all that work guarantees nothing.
It guarantees absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
In the real world, effort usually gets you some kind of result. In trading, you can work for 12 hours, analyzing a single chart, checking every time frame, every correlation, and you can still lose all your money in 5 minutes.
Ouch. That's a direct hit to the ego.
It's not a hit. It destroys the ego. And that is the entire essence of stage one. It isn't just about losing money. Anyone can lose money. It's about losing your entire framework for how the world is supposed to work. It's the destruction, the slaughter of your certainty.
You called it a slaughter, which implies it's violent. But does it happen all at once? Like one big catastrophic loss where they lose the house?
Rarely. I mean, sure, sometimes people go all in, they gamble, and they blow up an account in one day. But for the smart people, for the engineers we're talking about, it's so much more painful than that.
How so?
It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's a slow bleed.
Can you paint a picture of that for us? Like, what does that look and feel like on a Tuesday morning for this person?
Sure. Let's imagine you're that engineer. You're smart. You're methodical. You spend your entire weekend studying a new trend-following strategy.
Yeah.
You backtest it. It looks beautiful on paper. You're confident.
Okay, I'm with you.
Monday morning comes. You sit down with your coffee. You're ready. You see the setup. It meets every single one of your rules. It's perfect. You execute the trade flawlessly, according to your plan, and 10 minutes later, boom, it hits your stop loss. You lose.
All right, that happens. One loss isn't the end of the world.
Right. But remember, you're an engineer. Your brain is wired to find and fix problems. So you think, okay, the bridge fell down. Why? I must have missed a variable.
You look for a reason. There has to be a reason.
There has to be. So you look at the chart again and you say, I see it. I bought right before a big news release. That was my mistake.
So you find a cause.
You find a cause. Exactly. And you feel better because now you can fix it. You add a new rule to your system. No trading 10 minutes before or after a major news event. You've improved the system. You've fixed it.
Okay.
Tuesday comes. You try again. Perfect setup. No news in sight. You place the trade, and the market immediately reverses and stops you out. Again.
Oh, man. That's frustrating. And now the doubt starts to creep in, right?
Now you start to get worried. You think, okay, maybe my stop loss is too tight. The market is just volatile, so you widen your stop loss. Or you think, maybe the trend was weak. I need another indicator to confirm momentum, so you add the RSI to your chart.
And now the chart starts getting cluttered.
It starts getting cluttered, and on Wednesday, you take another trade. It goes against you. And it keeps going because your stop is wider. You lose even more money this time. So now you think, maybe it's the time frame. I'm on the 5-minute. I should be on the 15-minute chart. So you switch time frames, and you lose again.
I can feel the anxiety building just listening to this. It's like you're trying to grab a bar of soap in the shower, and it just keeps slipping out of your hands.
It is brutal. Do you see what's happening? The market is systematically trying to convince you that your goal is impossible. It's designed to crush your self-belief day by day, cut by cut. You do the work, you get punished. You try harder, you get punished harder.
And it's not like you lose every single time, which would almost be easier.
That would be so much easier because you just do the opposite of what you think you should do.
Right.
No, it's that You lose just often enough to keep you completely confused and questioning yourself, but you win just enough to keep you hooked, to give you that little bit of hope that you're almost there.
It's psychological torture. It's like being in a toxic relationship.
It's exactly like a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And the natural reaction for a smart person is to try to fix it. They think something is broken in their system.
Right. And that's when they come to my comment section and they ask, what am I missing? I hear that all the time. Is there a secret indicator? Is there a hidden setting? Do the big banks have some secret code that I just don't know about?
Exactly. They're searching for that missing piece of the puzzle. They believe if I can just find that one filter, that one entry technique, then I'll finally stop losing.
But I have to tell you, and this is the really hard truth of stage one.
What is it?
They aren't missing knowledge. They're suffering from a completely false framework.
A false framework. What do you mean by that?
They believe that if they do everything right, they should win. They believe that a correct analysis must lead to a profitable trade. But trading isn't a game of certainty. It's a game of probability.
And that's the part the engineer's brain just can't accept.
It can't. Because in engineering, if you do it right, it works. In trading, you can do everything 100% correctly, perfect analysis, perfect entry, perfect risk management, and you can still lose 5 times in a row. Wait, hold on a second. 5 times in a row, even with a perfect winning strategy. That sounds broken to me.
It sounds broken to an engineer, but it sounds completely normal to a casino manager.
Okay, explain that.
Think of it like flipping a coin. But this coin is slightly weighted in your favor. Let's say you have a strategy that has a 60% win rate, which, by the way, is an incredible strategy.
That's a massive edge.
A massive edge. But even with a 60% chance of winning, is it mathematically possible to flip tails 5 times in a row?
Yeah. It's unlikely, but it can definitely happen.
It happens. And when that losing streak happens in trading, the beginner in stage one thinks, I'm broken, my strategy is broken, I need to change everything. But the professional knows, this is just the math playing out. This is variance. This is the cost of doing business.
But in stage one, you don't know that. You take it personally.
You take every loss as a personal failure. You think you're stupid. You think you're not cut out for this.
I remember when I first started, I genuinely felt like the market had a camera in my room. It felt like the second I clicked buy, the entire global financial system, every bank in London, every hedge fund in New York, decided to sell just to spite me personally.
And we have all felt that paranoia. They're watching me. They're hunting my stops. It feels personal, but it's not. It's just chaos.
So you went through this. Can you share a personal story from your time in stage one, a specific moment where you felt this slaughter?
Oh, absolutely. I spent about 8 months stuck deep in stage one. And the worst part was I thought I was almost there the entire time.
8 months is a long time to be bleeding money and confidence.
Oh.
That takes a toll on your life, your sleep.
It felt like a decade. And I kept doing what we just described. I kept adding complexity. I thought, okay, simple price action isn't enough. I need to add volume profiles.
Okay.
Then I thought that wasn't enough, so I added order flow analysis.
Right.
Then I started looking at institutional positioning reports. I had these insane spreadsheets tracking correlations between the euro and the S&P 500. I had algorithms scanning for fractal patterns. My screen looked like the cockpit of a spaceship. I mean, you couldn't even see the price candles anymore because there were so many lines and indicators all over them.
And did the spaceship fly?
The spaceship crashed and burned. I kept losing. Not fast, not blowing up instantly, just that slow, painful, soul-crushing bleed. My account was dying, and my spirit was breaking. I was working 16 hours a day to lose money. Felt like the dumbest smart person on the entire planet.
So what changed? What was the turning point? How do you get out of that hole?
It was a specific afternoon. I remember the light in the room. It was gray and raining outside. I had just taken another loss on a trade that had met every single one of my dozens of complex criteria. It was a perfect trade. And it failed instantly. And I just sat there. I didn't get angry. I didn't throw anything. I just stared at the blank screen.
Yeah.
And I felt completely empty. And I finally admitted it. I said it out loud to the empty room. I just said, I don't know what I'm doing.
You surrendered.
I completely surrendered.
Yeah.
And that was the single most important moment of my entire trading career. I finally realized that certainty is an illusion. I had to admit deep in my bones that I know nothing about what will happen in the next second, let alone the next hour.
You don't know what will happen next.
The market can do anything at any time. It can go up, down, or sideways, and it doesn't care one bit about my beautiful analysis. And until you accept that, truly accept that you cannot predict the future, you cannot leave stage one.
That's profound. You have to give up the need to be right.
Yes. You have to destroy the ego that says, I am smart, therefore I know what is going to happen. You don't. No one does. Not the biggest hedge fund manager, not the head of the central bank. And once you accept that, you stop trying to be a fortune teller and you start trying to be a risk manager.
And that's the exit?
That is the only exit door from stage one.
Okay, wow. So let's say a listener is nodding their head right now. They're saying, okay, Robert, I get it. I can't predict the future. I surrender my ego. I accept the chaos. They survive the slaughter. They crawl through that exit door into stage two. What's waiting for them on the other side? Is it easier now?
Well, welcome to stage two, which I call the discipline of waiting. And to answer your question, no, it's not easier. It's just a different kind of hard.
The discipline of waiting? That sounds kind of boring.
It is extremely boring, and that is precisely why it's so dangerous. You see, here's the great irony of the trading journey.
Okay.
In stage one, you lost money because you didn't know how to trade. You were clueless. You were ignorant of how markets really work.
Right.
But in stage two, you do know how to trade. You have a system. You understand probability. But now you lose money because you can't stop yourself from trading.
Wait, that sounds so contradictory. So you go from being clueless to being, what, undisciplined?
Exactly. You solved the intellectual problem. Now you're facing a behavioral problem.
Right.
You move from ignorance to a total lack of self-control.
Let's unpack that, because it seems weird. Why is it so hard to stop? If I finally have a winning system, why wouldn't I just take the good trades and finally get rich?
Let me give you a very specific scenario. Let's say you've survived stage one. You've deleted the 50 indicators off your chart. You have a clean, solid strategy. You've tested it. You have verified that it has a real edge. But that edge might only appear 2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week. That's it.
That's very common for high-quality, high-probability setups. The best ones are rare. So here's the dilemma. The market is open, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week? That's 40 hours. Your perfect setup only happens twice. What do you do for the other 38 hours you're sitting at your desk?
I see where you're going with this. You're just sitting there, waiting, staring at the screen.
And that is physically painful for a human being. Yeah. You're not wired to do that. We're wired for productivity. We're wired for action. Evolution taught us, if you want to eat, you have to go hunt. If you see a lion, you have to run. Doing something is almost always better than doing nothing.
Right. And our entire society reinforces that. Doing more equals getting more. You want to build a house faster. You lay more bricks per hour. You want to dig a deeper hole. You shovel faster.
Yes. But in trading, doing more almost always equals making less. And that is the hardest thing for the human brain to rewire. It is an addiction to action.
You call it an action addiction. Is it really an addiction, like a chemical thing? Or is it just a bunch of bad habits?
Oh, it's a real addiction, chemically. Think about the dopamine loop in your brain. When you click that mouse button, buy or sell, you get an instant hit of dopamine. You feel a rush. You feel hope. You feel excitement. You feel involved. You feel like you're working. You feel like a trader.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. You sit there staring at a flat chart for 3 hours, nothing's happening, and you start to feel guilty. You feel lazy.
You feel useless. You think to yourself, I call myself a full-time trader, but I haven't placed a trade all day. Am I even really working? My partner's in the other room working hard. My friends are at their jobs, and I'm just sitting here staring at colorful lines.
So what happens? What's the next step in that thought process?
The self-sabotage cycle begins. You start to hallucinate setups.
Hallucinate? You mean you start seeing things on the chart that aren't actually there?
Yes. You look at a price pattern and you say, well, okay, this isn't exactly my A-plus setup.
Yeah.
The trend isn't quite as strong, but it's close. It's close enough.
Right. Or you tell yourself little lies.
What kind of lies?
Things like, I'll just take a small trade. Just a little scalp, to get a feel for the market.
Just a little taste. I just want to see if I'm right about the direction. We've all said it.
We have.
And what happens when you do that? You introduce random noise into your performance statistics. You take a winning system, a system that would make you steady money if you just waited for those 2 perfect setups a week, and you dilute it with a bunch of C-minus trades.
So you turn a winning strategy into a break-even strategy. Or worse.
Or worse. All because you couldn't sit on your hands? You're literally bleeding your profits away on trades you took out of sheer boredom. You make $1,000 on Monday on a perfect trade, and then you give it all back on Tuesday and Wednesday on stupid, impatient trades.
That's a painful cycle.
It is. And look, here's the core of it. If you need to trade to feel productive or to feel worthy or to get a thrill, the market will gladly take your money. It's a massive wealth transfer mechanism. It transfers money from the impatient to the patient.
From the impatient to the patient. I think that's a Buffett quote, right?
It is. And it applies just as much to day trading as it does to long-term investing.
So you were stuck in this stage too, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely. I spent a full year trapped in stage 2. A full year of knowing exactly what I was supposed to do and consistently failing to do it.
A whole year of knowing the right thing but doing the wrong thing. That must be maddening. That sounds worse than stage 1.
It is a different and in many ways a worse kind of torture. In stage 1, you can kind of forgive yourself because you think, well, I'm still learning. I just don't know any better.
Right.
In stage 2, you hate yourself because you do know better.
Yeah.
You click the button on a bad trade, and instantly, the moment your finger lifts off the mouse, you think, why did I do that? I knew that was a bad setup. I promised myself this morning I wouldn't do that again.
The regret is immediate. You feel like an addict who just relapsed.
It's instant. And I would have days where my A-plus setup just didn't appear. And I would force trades anyway. Just to stay sharp, I'd tell myself. And I would give back all the profits I'd made the previous week. I was just running on a hamster wheel. Running fast, sweating, working hard, and going absolutely nowhere.
So how did you break out of that one? How do you cure an addiction to action? What was the breakthrough moment for stage 2?
It was a specific day. I remember it so clearly because it was agonizing. The market was choppy, it was messy, sideways, no clear direction. And I sat there from the market open to the market close. About 6 hours straight.
Okay.
I saw maybe 5 or 6 potential movements that looked okay. They were tempting. My finger was hovering over the mouse button so many times. I wanted to click so badly. I could feel my heart racing, just wanting to be in the action. I felt physically agitated.
Did you click?
I didn't. I just sat there. I watched. I waited. I literally held onto my hands at some points.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I had taken 0 trades.
You had a whole trading session without trading.
A whole session. And when I closed my laptop that evening, I expected to feel frustrated. I expected to feel like I totally wasted my day. But instead, this really strange feeling washed over me. I felt proud.
Proud. Proud of doing nothing.
Yes. I felt powerful. And I had a huge realization in that moment. I realized that not trading is an active decision. It's an active skill.
It's not passive.
It's a weapon. Patience is a weapon. By not throwing my money at a bad C- setup, I was actively protecting my capital for the next A+ setup.
Yeah.
And I realized in that moment I was finally acting like a professional sniper, not like a machine gunner just spraying bullets everywhere.
That's a huge mental shift from I did nothing and wasted my day to I actively protected my capital.
That is the definition of an elite trader. It's someone who can watch the market for hours, like a sniper lying in the grass in total camouflage, waiting for that one perfect shot. They don't shoot at birds flying by. They don't shoot at trees just to hear the gun go off. They wait for the target.
And if the target doesn't show up that day?
They don't shoot. They pack up their gear and they go home. Quietly.
I love that analogy. The sniper versus the machine gunner. If you're just spraying bullets everywhere, you're just making noise and wasting your ammunition.
Yeah.
And in trading, your ammo is your capital.
Exactly. And once you learn to value your ammo more than the thrill of shooting, you graduate from stage 2.
Okay, this is incredible. So let's recap. We've survived the slaughter of certainty, that's stage 1. We've mastered the discipline of waiting, stage 2. We have conquered our ego and we've conquered our impatience. What is left? Surely we're done now, right? What is stage 3?
Stage 3 is the final destination. It's what I call becoming the market.
Becoming the market. That sounds almost mystical. Are we going to start levitating and meditating now?
It feels a little mystical sometimes. But it's actually grounded in thousands of hours of extreme repetition. This is the stage of what psychologists call unconscious competence.
Unconscious competence. Okay, break that down for us. What does that mean in simple terms?
Think about when you first learned how to drive a car. Do you remember how difficult that was?
Oh, yeah. It was overwhelming. I was thinking, check the rear view mirror, check the side mirror, hand on the gear stick, foot on the clutch, don't stall, watch out for that pedestrian. It was so much to process at once.
Exactly. You had to consciously think about every single tiny action. That's stage 1 and stage 2 trading. But now, today, when you drive to work, do you think about your feet on the pedals?
Not at all. Sometimes I get to work and I don't even remember the drive. My body just did it.
That is unconscious competence. Your brain and your body are acting as one. You don't think, you just do. And that is stage 3 trading. You look at a chart and you just know.
You just know.
You don't agonize, you don't hesitate, you don't feel fear, you don't second guess yourself. You see your setup and your hand executes the trade almost automatically before your conscious brain even has time to worry.
That sounds like the absolute dream. It sounds like trading nirvana, like you finally reached the top of the mountain, the sun is shining, and everything is beautiful.
Well, here's the final twist, and nobody warns you about this one. You might expect the stage to be euphoric, you might expect it to be exciting and full of adrenaline like you see in the movies, but it's not.
It's not. What is it then?
It's boring.
Boring. Again with the boring. You are really not selling the dream here, Robert.
I'm selling the reality. Profitable, consistent trading is incredibly dull. It's repetitive. It's mechanical. It is completely emotionless. And that is the final trap.
There's a trap in stage 3, even after all that work to get there.
Oh, yes. The unexpected enemy at the gates of profitability is boredom. You see, profitable trading is like working on a factory assembly line. You see the part come down the conveyor belt. That's your setup. You pull the lever and stamp the part. That's you taking the trade. And you move it down the line. You manage the risk over and over and over again.
That does not sound very Wolf of Wall Street. Where are the parties? Where's the screaming and shouting at the screen?
It's the exact opposite of Wolf of Wall Street. Real professional trading is quiet. It's calm. It's like being an accountant. And a lot of traders who finally reach stage 3, they self-sabotage. Because they miss the old days.
They miss the pain. How could they miss the pain?
They miss the adrenaline. They miss the fight of stage 1. They miss that internal struggle of stage 2. They miss the high highs and the low lows. When you're in stage 3, you don't really feel happy when you win. And you don't feel sad when you lose. It's just data. It's just a number on a screen. It's like breathing, you know. You don't celebrate every single breath you take all day.
So they start messing things up on purpose just to feel something.
Exactly. They'll start increasing their position size to dangerous levels just to get their heart rate up again. Start taking bad trades that aren't in their plan just to see what happens. They would rather lose money and feel excited than make money and be bored.
Wow, that's cheery. Human nature is a strange thing, isn't it? We crave the drama sometimes more than we crave the success.
We do. We're wired for story. We're wired for emotion. But the market only pays you for being boring. There's the one mantra I want everyone listening today to remember.
What is it?
Boring pays, excitement costs.
Boring pays, excitement costs. I think I need to get that tattooed on my forehead. Or at least put it on a sticky note on my monitor.
It's the golden rule of profitable trading. If you're having fun, if your heart is pounding, if you're cheering or screaming at the screen, you are probably paying for that entertainment with your losses. If you're bored, if you're calm, if you're checking your fingernails while a trade is on, you're probably getting paid.
So paint the final picture for us. The professional trader who has truly mastered stage 3 and stayed there without blowing themselves up out of boredom. What is their day-to-day life like?
That's a life of routine. They treat trading like a boring business, not an exciting casino. They wake up, they check their key levels, they wait. If their setup comes, they execute. They manage the risk, they close the trade, then, and this is the most important part, they shut down the computer and they go live their life.
They're not obsessing over it all day.
No. They play golf, they spend time with their kids, they read books, they don't sit on Twitter all day bragging about their wins or complaining about their losses.
Are you bored when you trade?
Yes. I am very, very bored when I trade.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. Look, do I sometimes miss the chaos of the early days? A little bit. I miss that feeling of being a cowboy in the Wild West. But I prefer the steady, compounding growth of my account a whole lot more. I've found satisfaction in the routine. I've found peace in the boredom.
Peace in the boredom, that's a really beautiful way to put it.
That's what financial freedom is.
Yeah.
It's built on a foundation of boring, consistent execution. It's not built on lottery ticket miracle trades.
Robert, this has been an absolutely incredible walkthrough. I want to take just a moment to recap this for everyone listening because this is a lot to digest. I want to make sure it really sticks.
Please, go ahead.
So we have this 3-stage journey. Stage 1, the slaughter of certainty. This is the engineer's trap. This is where you realize you don't know anything. It's the ego death. You have to admit, I am clueless and I cannot predict the future just to survive.
That's it.
Then, stage 2, the discipline of waiting. This is the addict's trap. This is where you battle that action addiction. You know what to do, but you have to learn the power of doing nothing. You have to become the sniper.
Perfect.
And finally, stage 3, becoming the market. This is the boredom trap. This is the flow state. But you have to accept that making money consistently is a boring job. You have to choose peace over adrenaline.
That is a perfect summary. Better than I could have said it myself.
So, Before we wrap up, I just want to ask for some final words from you. What is your advice for the person listening to this right now? Maybe they're stuck in stage 1, they're bleeding money, and they just feel stupid. Or maybe they're in stage 2 and they're just frustrated with themselves every single day. What do you say to them?
My advice is this. You cannot skip steps.
Yeah.
You cannot rush this process. You cannot buy a $5,000 course that will magically teleport you from stage 1 to stage 3. It doesn't exist. This is a fire you must walk through. It's a journey that is designed to change who you are as a person.
You have to change who you are.
Yes. So if you are suffering in stage 1 right now, please hear me when I say this. You are not failing. You are not stupid. You are learning humility. That pain you feel is necessary. It is the tuition fee the market charges everyone.
And for stage 2.
If you're struggling in stage 2, beating yourself up because you took another bad trade that you knew you shouldn't have, stop. Be kind to yourself. You aren't undisciplined. You are detoxing from a powerful addiction to action. Forgive yourself and try again tomorrow. And if, by some chance, you're bored in stage 3, congratulations, you made it.
That is powerful stuff. Robert, thank you so much for sharing this wisdom. This isn't the kind of thing you hear on the Get Rich Quick channels. This is the real deal.
It was my absolute pleasure. I really hope it helps someone out there stay in the fight.
I have no doubt it will. Now, friends, before we go, I have to get serious for just one moment. We have to do the mandatory disclaimer, but it's really important, so please listen closely. Everything that we shared in this conversation today is for knowledge sharing and for talking about personal experience only. It is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. And neither is Robert.
That's right.
Financial investment always comes with risks. The markets are dangerous places. You, the viewer, need to do your own research carefully, and you must take full responsibility for all of your own decisions. Please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose.
Absolutely. Protect your capital first. That is rule number 1, always.
Exactly. Now, to close out, I want to hear from you. I genuinely want to know where you are on this journey. Go to the comments section right now. Don't be shy. Tell me, which stage are you in right now?
Yeah, I'd love to read those comments.
Are you battling the slaughter in stage 1? Are you fighting the addiction in stage 2? Or are you maybe bored out of your mind in stage 3? Let us know. It helps to know you're not alone in this. We're a community here. We support each other. Thank you again for tuning in to the Handsome Trader channel. We appreciate you more than you know. Stay safe, trade smart, and we'll see you in the next video.